Germany had already produced an all-time great driver in Michael Schumacher. Then along came Sebastian Vettel. In the history of Formula One racing, only a cluster of drivers have won at least 4 World Drivers' Championships. In Sebastian Vettel's case, he completed the set of 4 in consecutive years. He is a whirlwind in every sense of the word. Vettel has been breaking records since he was a boy in Heppenheim, Germany, racing cars, to his domination of the Formula BMW scene in 2004, when he won 18 of 20 races. He was signed to drive in Formula One at just 19 years old, and the rest, as they say, is history. Nicknamed Baby Schumi because of the fact he had grown up idolizing Schumacher, he wrote his own brilliant tale after the great German's retirement at the end of 2012. One day, perhaps, Vettel will overtake his idol. Schumacher's 7 world titles are a landmark in the sport, but not necessarily an impossible dream. Vettel is well on the way, having moved from Red Bull Racing to Ferrari from the 2015 season, so that he would drive with the Prancing Horse logo, just as Schumacher had through the bulk of his career.
I'm a normal person. I love what I do, and I'm very fortunate to do something that so many people around the world follow. To be able to experience that, 19 times a season. A day like yesterday, the sun was shining, we had so many people and enthusiastic fans on the grandstands, and just the moment before I put my helmet on, I looked around, you look down to the first sector, turn 1, turn 2, and you see this massive grandstand full of people, and you think life doesn't, for us drivers, for me in that moment, life doesn't get much better than this,
One of F1's highest earners, Vettel's annual income is close to $50 million a year. But his sense of perspective was not lost. Money can be a motivation, but it will never make you happy. He was the youngest ever World Drivers' Champion at 23 years, 133 days, when he won for Red Bull in 2010, in just his 2nd full season. He equaled the record for wins in a season when he saw the checkered flag 13 times in 2013 and won 9 consecutive Grands Prix in the same year, another record. Vettel is a freak of the sport, and to make matters worse for his opposition, he continues to chase his goals, hunt down incremental improvement in his methodical way. He has unfinished business. After a lull following his 4th world title in 2013, he roared back into contention with Ferrari in the early part of 2017, winning 3 of the first 6 races. Vettel has helped put Formula One racing at the forefront of world sport, winning the prestigious Laureus World Sportsman of the Year in 2014 after his 4th world title.
I think if I learned anything tonight, then surely is the fact that sport can be a very, very big inspiration.
Not bad for a man who on F1 debut at Istanbul in 2006 was fined $1,000 for speeding out of the pits for the very first time, 9 seconds into his career. He has been in a rush ever since. Still to come on the Immortals, the quirks of Sebastian Vettel.
The first name actually we gave ever to a car in Red Bull Racing was Kate.
Okay,
but then,
right.
Unfortunately, we had a crash.
Oh well.
So a bad start, and then we had to change the chassis. So we had actually a new car, and then we called the new car Kate's Dirty Sister. So I don't know if you have a sister, but
I do.
all right. Yeah, so that's where the whole thing, let's say, started.
A special story behind that, behind the names.
So that's where the whole thing started, and then since then, obviously, every year we came up with different names. Basically, the idea is to have a name so you can attach a little bit more to the car, and it has to be a women's name because we believe, the mechanics and we believe the car is very beautiful.
Sebastian Vettel has never been noted as a prankster or a playboy character of his sport, like a James Hunt. But he does have one quirk: his habit of naming the cars that he hurls around the Formula One tracks of the world. His 2017 model Ferrari, for instance, was Gina. He began with the Julie, a Toro Rosso in 2008. And along with Kate, there was also Kate's dirty sister, a luscious Liz, Randy Mandy, and Hungry Heidi, as well as picking up the Italian flavor in his Ferrari period with a Margherita. Vettel also likes to change the design artwork of his helmets. From the time as a boy, he asked to have a crab stenciled on his headgear. It depicted Sebastian the Crab, of Little Mermaid fame, of course.
We keep talking about Sebastian, and so we should, because he keeps breaking records one after the other, so he's done fantastic.
Sebastian Vettel is not necessarily the most popular Formula One driver, despite the adulation of the sport's former supremo, Bernie Ecclestone. Vettel's ruthless style has not endeared him to everyone, and he paid a heavy price for making the circuit entirely predictable for big tracts of his 4-year jaunt at the top of the sport. People found it boring, and they voiced their feelings. This was so particularly at Monza in 2013, when he beat Fernando Alonso into second place in the Italian Grand Prix. He was also heckled on the podium in Singapore that year, prompting a debate about the fairness of his treatment. He was, after all, just winning. At the end of the 2013 season, he won 9 consecutive races from Belgium in August to Brazil in November, a record streak. But he defended his right to win.
First of all, I think there's no rule that you have to obey. If you win races or you are successful, that you should start flying. So, as I said, no reason for that. I am who I am. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. Some people might like it, other people might not, but yeah, that's life.
The German also courted controversy, driving for Red Bull in Malaysia in 2013, when he declined to accept team orders and overtook his teammate, Australian Mark Webber. Vettel won the Grand Prix. Webber was furious, and the German was chided by his team management. He was forced into an apology of sorts, but never sounded as though he could harbor the idea of not trying his best to win.
What stuck to their heads is the way the race ended, but I think, as I said, there's not much more to add than what happened. I told the team straight after. I apologized for putting myself above the team, which I didn't mean to do. But there's not much more to say really. I don't apologize for winning. I think that's why people employed me in the first place and why I'm here. I love racing, so and that's what I did.
Vettel put the incident behind him and kept chasing checkered flags. His feat of 4 straight titles from 2010 to 2013 is matched only by the legends of the sport. Juan Manuel Fangio from 1954 to 1957, and Schumacher, who won 5 straight from 2000 to 2004 on his way to 7 Drivers' Championships. The connection between Germany's 2 greatest drivers is real. Both are from small towns near the main track at Nürburgring.
Well, I think it's very simple. Coming from Germany, when I started karting, Michael won his first World Championship, so it has always been Michael that I've been looking up to, and then obviously followed him very close when he moved to Ferrari.
and yeah, created a winning team for many, many years that had so much success. So it's been a huge inspiration, and therefore closing the loop, you know, racing for Ferrari now myself, I think is definitely a dream that came true, and but it's not done yet.
Sebastian Vettel continues to seek more world titles. Whatever happens in the final phase of his career, he can rest assured about one point. If he's seeking immortality, he can stop now. He's already there.